Okay, so do we have any questions? Yes.
Is the volunteer project making good progress in relation to the preservation and retention of the collection? If it's working?
Is this one working? Yes. Yeah, we are actually. So, well, we were about 50% of the way through, we thought, until we then discovered that there were another 20 very large boxes held at the other school, the later boys' school, that we've now brought over. But we, of the original archive in the archive room, we're about 50% through. We're actually heading up again straight after DAF. I've got a group of another 8 students and volunteers coming up with us. So we'll continue the work there. We've got a lot of work still to do in the development of the governance over the archive. As I mentioned briefly, we've got a whole lot of issues to sort out in terms of the IP of the archive that we really want to bed down pretty quickly. But there's a lot of goodwill. Everyone's very interested and happy for this work to be getting done. We're getting there, but it's a slow and laborious process. But I'm just pleased we're getting through it, because every time we go up there, there's another box that is completely destroyed by the black mold. We're trying to keep things off the ground, but it's fairly problematic. We're also sort of developing a number of practical resources for other groups who are wanting to do similar things with their own archives. Because this project is resource, but we're doing a lot of things, there's not a huge amount of money, so we're doing it very practically. Anything from, we've worked out a way to, once we have digitised the material, to ensure that the black mold doesn't destroy it any further. We've actually bought a whole lot of vacuum suction things from Kmart, taken it up there. We clean up the actual documents as best we can. We put it in the vacuum seal Kmart thing, take it out in the sun. All you need to do is to get it up to 30 degrees, it kills the black mold and keeps it out. So even though we know we're putting it back in the archive, the material that we do put into these do suction, actually it's going to be preserved and it's been digitised. So we're trying to do sort of multiple things practically at once, but also having a guide for people working at the school and anyone else who wants to come in and do it while we're not there can continue happening. And as I said, we will get all of these resources once we've finished compiling them up online for other communities to use.
Great, thanks.
Any other another question? Yes.
I'm just interested in the experience of people going to see artworks made by grandparents and great-grandparents that are held in other collections, and the interest in either whether those are restricted or whether those can be brought back home.
There are some paintings at Melbourne. You see Melbourne or Canberra National Gallery that I've been there before, and I've seen restrict paintings, restrict, and some in general in public. So the restrict means it's only for the elders and the boys that has been in the ceremony, which is called Nara ceremony, is only for men. And in general, in public, it's green light. It's general in public. So the boys and girls and the women and the older men can come and have a look, like how you see in the other paintings that my tribe done. It's Dhawulunbulun. It's a republic ceremonies in general in public. So you can come and have a look. Fireworks, it's all in general. So the women are allowed to come, women, girls and boys, younger ones and mother ones, it goes like that. It's our Yolmo structure that how we involve and manage, you know. And that's the pathway. That's how we go in those pathways, you know. So it's our structure and how we manage.
A couple of times there's been mention of future orientation of the digitisation work and ICIP, and I'm interested in the sort of what I might call the educational challenge of helping community members understand all the risks and threats of, say, sharing digitised materials via social media without fully understanding that that becomes property of big tech companies that they then reuse it in ways, and this is advancing so rapidly, and once something's out, it's very hard to claw it back. It seems like it's a big educational challenge with communities who might take at face value many promises of the good benefits of AI and tech without realising all that's at stake.
Thank you for this complicated question. Yes, I think the community is actually really aware, not specifically of AI, but of other ways, like the internet, that's for sure, but because paintings and images and photos have been circulating since there's been digital tools, and they've been circulating on telephones and on USB sticks and all that, and Bluetooth and all that. So people are really aware of this possible circulation, which is why, of course, they are very, very careful about what they put out there in terms of images. So at the moment, the archive at Jalkiri Keeping Place in Milingimbi is completely offline. It's just for local use, and this is that's what the community wanted. So the level up of putting things online is something that needs to be really, as you say, a long-term conversation with different people about what they want to see online. Yes, maybe Michael wants to add something about being worried about the paintings going everywhere on the internet and other people seeing them and using them. Are you worried about that, or do you want to say something about that?
We do a lot of paints, you know, back at home. This is all about ochre, rubbing on a flat rock, yellow, red, black, and white. And we use back paintings, and it's all traditional ochre that mainly our grandfather and fathers has been painting thousands of years ago. Anyway, we paint, and the art center gets the painting, and that is my copyright. And the art center have that. It's on art center's hand that they do after when I sell my paintings, and they buy it and they keep it, and they sell them probably in the public. You know, they sell them. Someone's buy the paintings, and if I see it somewhere, then I have to do something about my copyright. If it's probably if they buy the painting and keep it in the house as a souvenir in the house, that's good. If they want to buy the painting, that's what I am thinking, you know. But if someone buys the painting and do copyrights, they print on the fabric, that's the problem that I have to come and talk or find out, you know, or go through it. So I think it's a bit legal if I go through it. I have to go step by step because I have been learning at Bachelor Institute. I had been there for 4 weeks. I have Aboriginal and Torres Strait visual art certificate. I have a certificate for. I'm in certificate for. So I learned there with my teacher, Langton. So she explained to me, and I learned about the Balanda ways, you know, Balanda way, how to go more further. I learned Yolngu first in my state, and then in Western Balanda. You know, how will I go more further, you know? So thank you.
Okay, so in the very last 1 minute, I'm just going to ask Magali quickly. Can you just tell us the difficulty that you've had with Indigenous data sovereignty and the frameworks and the ideas that we're having here in Australia while working in Paris in this kind of area?
So, 1 minute. So the difficulties are like really, these are not difficulties, this is more about methodology and how we need to work now, really having, as for this project, really continuity in the relationship with the art centers, the community and the artists relating to these different art centers. And really think about how to change in our database on this specific project. We had really in mind to really reshape some of the fields or have a kind of different approach of how we present the data that we keep in the museum archives, because there are also a lot of archives linked with Kristen held in another place than the museum. So it's just, the first thing is to gather and share all this data. And then on the, yeah, so in the middle.
Sorry, she's saying French words which I can't.
In the mythology of the, and then when sharing and asking and doing interviews, there are these kind of, I have to say, new approach from the French and European perspective, having this thing of paying for the rights also to work with Milingimbi, for example, and being all equal in the process. And no, sorry, it's just, yeah, we are changing the methodology, which is quite new, in the way we collaborate with the communities, of course, and also think about how we can change the way, of course, to display the data and through the process of this project specifically.
Thank you, and she did it in 2 minutes. Thank you.